Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. It is the week of September the 9th, 2021. The current challenge is, as expected, Teen Titans Raven for 1 week repeat. The required characters are Killer Frost, Scorpion, and Hawkgirl, who are all challenge golds, which is a bit of a pain. Not how we like it, because it means the entry point for newer players is much too high. Now, the only advantage is that we'll get into it a little bit later, but Killer Frost is available in a power credit pack this week. Hawkgirl is available in a cash pack this week, but Scorpion you'll have to take your gamble with in the challenge pack. Teen Titans Raven's passive is Demonic Embrace. Special attacks have a chance to drain 25% health and power. Raven receives all health and power that has been drained. Her attack is 1400, her health is 1200. She was last available in November 2020. She's got really excellent high stats. 25% drain of health and power is actually quite good because it's not a percentage of current health like it is, say, with Cassandra Cain Batgirl's passive when she tags in, but it is 25% of maximum health. And I don't think much has changed. I think she's still either our second or maybe even favorite Raven now. We've got a playlist of her, a bunch of different multiplayer teams and fights. When people are judging characters, and we've said this a number of times, it's easy to look at just the stats and the passive and then decide whether they like a character based on that. In the case of this Raven, one of the most important parts that's not so obvious is how good her special 2 is. Because in the current meta, where basically you can stick in anybody as your special specialist using the Tantu Totem and Master's Death card for special 2, then it becomes so much more important what the special 2 looks like. And for Raven, or this Raven, her special 2 has multiple hits. It tracks across more than one opponent, meaning you can knock one out and still have hits left over for the next opponent tagging in. And so what that means is sometimes you can knock out more than one opponent. There's a lot of special 2s now that can only knock out on the final hit. But here's the thing, even if it doesn't knock out the second opponent, her passive kicks in after completing the special 2. So you can knock out the first opponent, do some damage to the second one, steal their power and health. And when you steal their health, sometimes that's enough as the kicker, even after special 2 is completed, to knock out that second opponent. And the other thing about her special 2 that's so great is that it is ranged, meaning that she doesn't need to be close to her opponent to make contact. So wherever she tags in, whatever the situation, she tags in, does her special 2, she's close enough to hit the opponent. I mean, obviously, invulnerability from the Astral Harness still works. It's just that if they're not invulnerable, she can hit them. Doesn't matter how far away they are. So this is the 25th week in a row that the challenge characters have been following a pattern that originally showed up in May 2020. If the pattern holds, New 52 Wonder Woman is next. This week's multiplayer reward is Flashpoint Deathstroke, and his passive is Pirate Crew. Deathstroke has a chance on special attacks to be assisted by Flashpoint teammates. The more Flashpoint characters, the more attacks he gets on his combo ender. His attack is 1240 and his health is 1360. He was last available this February 2021. It's the 36th week in a row where we had a 31-week course of all the different multiplayer rewards in one cycle, and 5th in a row of a repeat of that cycle. His stats are great, good high base stats, and if nothing else, just by being Flashpoint, he's one of the best cards already, because he can take advantage of Batman's crit damage boost. Now, you could gear him to be your basic damage specialist with all the extra combo ender hits, but what makes him really good to take advantage of his passive, Special Specialist. Then his special 1 becomes deadly enough to knock out most opponents. Now, the Pirate Crew part where his teammates will come in and do some of the damage, that doesn't get splashed with League of Assassins Knives. But being able to knock them out means that he is really efficient for using Tantu Totem. Only uses 1 bar of power. If it whiffs on the first opponent, 2nd bar. More than enough. And if he hits, then you get that cycle. Most characters who are going to be specialists need to have a special 2 to knock out their opponents. He's the exception. The main weakness is if you're going to face somebody with Astro Harness, and what that means is that because his special 1 has so many hits, Astro Harness, if the opponent doesn't block, all right, so they're invulnerable when they tag in, or when they start, and none of your hits will do any damage. You'll get your power back, but if they don't block, they're generating power. And that can be a bit of a problem. So you don't want to be doing it, because with the first invulnerability of the Astro Harness, you can do 3 special 1s, and if you give them power with all the special 1s, then you're looking at potentially eating a special right at the beginning. The other difficulty that every character or every team basically has is against the Red Sun Green Lantern team. Because the Flashpoint team relies so much on critical hits, it's going to be a little bit tougher. But that's the problem you run into with all teams basically, because if your team is well built, you're relying on a lot of critical hits. It's just that the difference between not a Red Sun Green Lantern team and facing a Red Sun Green Lantern team is just so much more stark when you're using Flashpoint. It's not that they're that much weaker, it's just they're that much better when it's not Red Sun Green Lantern. So, as we mentioned, if the schedule holds, it's going to be New 52 Wonder Woman as next week's challenge character. We've got Blackest Night Pack 1 for $24.99. Now, what's interesting is this used to be called the Blackest Night Pack 2, and the only difference, it had exactly the same characters. It had Blackest Night, Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl, and Batman. It was $52.99 instead of $24.99 Canadian. And I think a big problem with that is that, that was the last time we had Teen Titans Raven Challenge. And so that's pretty big money grab, which ain't great. You've got the Arkham Asylum Pack 1 for $24.99. It's Arkham Knight Batman on the cover, but you don't actually get Arkham Knight Batman. This is the Arkham pack that has 3 specific characters: Arkham Origins Batman, Arkham Origins Deathstroke, and Arkham Knight Harley Quinn. Also interesting about this is that this was also called the Arkham Asylum Pack 2 back in September 2020, 1 year ago. It sold for $52.99. No different. $52.99. Different name, look the same characters. Actually, if you want to look at it, we can show you a clip if you click on the link in the description when that pack was available as Arkham 2 and was more than twice as much. Funnily enough, too, it was recently available for $24.99 just a couple weeks ago in August. The most interesting thing this week is that there's a Survivor pack for 595,000 power credits. So I don't know if this is a trend. It's been a long time since we've had a character or even a team character pack for power credits. It's not the greatest, but Killer Frost and Wonder Woman 600 are good characters. Killer Frost is needed for this week's challenge. You could do worse than spend your credits here. Aquaman Celebration Pack is back for 300 nth metal, so it looks like we are going through a cycle of 3 packs in order of Joker, Aquaman, and Shazam. You've got a 50% chance of getting an Aquaman. There's really only the 4 Aquaman. Prime, Flashpoint, Injustice 2, and Regime. Equal chance of each, so that's 12.5%. And then the 50% chance for the rest of the package is for a gold character. Our Survivor is the Lexor Gear set until the 22nd of November, 2021. Phantom Zone is 1 week in, 1 week left. Fight 62 is still broken. Last week's breakthrough was as expected. Lex Luthor, Batman, and Doomsday. So this coming weekend is probably Bane, Killer Frost, and Ares. Link in the description to Reddit thread in the Injustice Reddit that's moderated by, among others, Devlin16, who came up and kept track of this list. Link in the description. Moving on to current glitches. Just a reminder that every working glitch is explained in a video that you can reach by clicking the eye in the top right corner of this video. Each video is a tutorial that teaches you how to use the glitch. Spoiler alert, there is nothing new this week. So we'll actually get into the things that you can't do because you've already got the working glitches. We'll talk about the not working glitches, and it's a funny way to put it because there's a bunch of glitches that people want, like for power credits, or glitches that used to work that don't work anymore. So power credits, there's nothing for power credits that we're willing to endorse. There used to be one before the most recent update. We're not sure if it still works, but we talk about the reasons why we don't endorse it and why we don't recommend that you use it in Season 6, Episode 9 of our P and Q and C and A and T video. Main reason is too high risk of having your account suspended when you're logged into one account simultaneously with two devices. Getting the glitch for getting multiplayer season rewards repeatedly, not working. Glitch to get them early, also not working in a way that's exploitable. No glitch to get through Phantom Zone unnaturally quickly, but there are strategies for getting through effectively. We've got a playlist with that. And the glitch that used to let you get free energy without having to watch the video, not working. A few comments about the working glitches. The glitch to let you play Phantom Zone repeatedly is working. The challenge reset method is also working, tested and confirmed on the current Teen Titans Raven challenge. Just a reminder, they're the same glitch. So when you reset progress on one, you're resetting progress on the other. Keep that in mind, because if you're not paying attention, you might waste a bunch of time and reset progress that you actually meant to keep. Now, we are on Android 9. Android 10, maybe Android 11, you have to re-download more than a gig of data. So we've cut and pasted a comment from a viewer about which files you can move around instead of deleting and re-downloading. So moving around means you don't have to re-download it. You save yourself a bunch of data. There's also a comment from viewer Jonathan Yang, cut and pasted, on how to reset the challenge for an iOS device. Breakthrough glitch to let you play repeatedly, still working. The airplane mode / refund glitch is still working. Good for packs with random drops and last laugh tickets, so that if you don't like what you get a refund. You lose what you got, but then you have the credits or the last laugh tickets or whatever to have another try. We have not been able to get it work for Phantom Zone because even though it might look like it's working, the last Crystal character, it requires a internet connection. So people on iOS have reported that it works. We can't get it to work on our Android device. Time shifting still works in Android for unlimited survivor play and energy recharges. Always remember, bring your countdown clock back to normal before you stop. Mainly because it'll mess up the clock for other events that are supposed to show up. For example, Phantom Zone or the challenges. And that's it. So in between working glitches and not working glitches, there's one glitch that isn't technically working, but never has failed us because the conditions just haven't been right for the glitch for more than a couple of years. That's the promotion glitch. We will remove it from the list of current glitch videos once it's failed us for the first time. And it may never fail us because the conditions just may never come back. And that's it. So this is the part where we like to give a big shout out and thank you to our patrons on Patreon. And that is Victor Gomez, Consul Peasant, and Edwoon at the top tier last word. Sinemac and Mohammed Albshaiti at the Your Message Here tier. Shawn Farrell, Daniel Simonson, Aaron Maule, Michael DeVries, Brandon C., Irvin Ruiz, and Eddydoo at the credited level. And Chris Wolff, Scarlet, Dani, Awesomegamer 241, Pavu RS, Gavin Mallott, Isfar E., all at the gratitude level. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Komoda.